And immediately knocked out of play.
Make some shots. Try to get your nerves under control here in a tough venue by making shots and getting off to a good start.
Brian Sullivan will run the point. Gets it off immediately. Shot in the air for three and a quick start.
Now Davidson is a team under Bob McKillop that will shoot the ball well from 5 positions. They will run their motion offense, read, react, cut. A lot of activity that Duke will have to guard.
Kalinowski not afraid to get it in the air. Here's Jabari Parker. Knocks it down. The first shot he takes in college basketball. What a start.
Young man has got superstar written all over him. 6'8", athletic and skilled.
235 out of Chicago. He's already appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated, proclaiming him as the best player to come along since LeBron. And bodied up and immediately a quick foul.
First opportunity.
Droney, the 6'6" senior, he's a guy who also loves to shoot it. He's appeared in every game in his Davidson career, so they have experience to rely on. Sullivan down the lane. He's denied. Picked off by Parker, now to run. And look for this out of Duke this year. A faster tempo. That's what they're trying to do and really pile up points.
Speed, athleticism, outstanding pass right there from Jabari Parker.
And Jefferson in for two, the 6'9" sophomore.
And they like Jefferson's ability to play off the 2 forwards.
Three-pointer, that's going to rattle out by Cherapovich out of Gothenburg, Sweden, but he can really shoot it. If he gets going, look out. Hood gives it up, and now Cook will call out the play, the point guard, the junior out of Washington, D.C. On the move, Hood, little tumble there, the jumper on the way, and that's going to rattle home, and he's done it again. Parker has 5 quick points, but they'll give up 2 on the other end. Kalinowski on the drive.
Yeah, that's the one area. You see the dynamic offensive ability from Jabari Parker. Watching practice yesterday, the defensive end, he's got a lot of growth. He's at the perfect place to sort of be taught defensive technique.
Thornton swings up high. Now Cook to set up a play for the Blue Devils. Went 30-6 a season ago. Wound up second place in the ACC as Cook drives in 2. Look at Davidson not wasting any time, but a traveling violation here on Cherapovich.
Guy's got 957 wins, a gold medal, which he says admits to the pressure of that. He said, I still get jitters. He's nervous.
Said he still gets nervous. Smooth looking jump shot there by Rodney Hood. Quite a rarity at Duke. A transfer. Just the 4th transfer that Coach K has had here in 34 years.
Well, that transfer just gave him a 12-2 run.
Sullivan to Brooks. A touch for him, and he's fouled on the play.
For 1 year before going back to coach high school basketball was Rick Barnes. Rick Barnes called him the best coach in North Carolina. I thought, don't Roy Williams and Mike Krzyzewski coach in North Carolina?
There's a couple of Hall of Famers there. Not that Bob hasn't done a spectacular job. He has, and his resume is marked with big upsets. Hood on the drive, a lot of contact. Follows it up and knocks it down. He has 5.
It is blatantly obvious before the first TV timeout why Mike Krzyzewski has said the rest of the returnees will adjust around the 2 new guys. Hood and Parker are immense talents.
Jake Belford into the ball game now for the Davidson Wildcats as Brooks tries to operate in heavy traffic. Into the lane on the spin and the shove as Parker checking is going to be clamped down on.
And Carl Hess made it obvious what he was calling there. He made the hand checking motion, and the reason being they feel like the game got too physical and there wasn't enough movement and offensive abilities being showcased.
Well, look at the moves there by Damon Brooks, who is the man for Davidson, All-Southern Conference 3 times, Player of the Year in the conference as well.
They've had a hard time with this guy in the past. He's an undersized post at this level, but in his league he is very difficult to contend with.
Good looking to penetrate. Now back out. Harrison off the fake. He'll fire it up. And a whistle will go the other way. In the first half, Davidson with the basketball. 26-8 last year. 17-1 in the Southern Conference. They won the league, a league that is, like many of them, in a state of flux right now. Groening into the lane. That's a tough move with the left hand for two.
It is. I don't necessarily think Bob McKillop might have loved the possession because he was the only one to touch it and he did a ton of dribbling, but you'll take the score.
They're penetrating again on the dish. Murphy into the ball game now. Alex Murphy in a blocking foul.
You might have an idea, and against certain matchups you might play certain guys, but everything is new. How many minutes can Jabari Parker play before he's fatigued and makes young mistakes? All of these things develop over the course of your season.
Says, I know what I can do. I don't know what I'm going to do with this team yet.
Yes.
And how they're going to react. Cook with a long one. Got it. Quinn Cook.
See, I think he's crucial because we've seen Cook over the last couple of years, and when he plays with an edge, he can be scary good.
Averaged about 5 assists a game last year. He's up for the Bob Cousy Award. He's on the watch list this season. A backdoor cut not made, and Davidson throws it away.
Well, one of the things you have to do, and this is a Davidson them say in 4 and 8 minute segments well, but then that inability to score pinches you here in this building.
Harrison lines up at 3, and that's the first one they've missed. They had connected on 3 in a row. So now Davidson in transition. Remember how close they came to upsetting Marquette in the NCAA tournament last year? They had that late lead.
5-point lead.
Wound up losing a heartbreaker. They squandered that lead, lost 59-58 round 2, and nice hesitation there by DeMond Brooks. Today, it gave them fits in a meeting last year. You know, the Blue Devils won that rather handily by 17, 67-50. Hood denied there, slapped away, wanted back. He'll bank it in. Well, he's got a lot of game.
He does. This is a guy who Mike Krzyzewski, when he played at Mississippi State as a freshman, he was all SEC freshman team, but he was a spot-up shooter, made 47 threes. Last year, Mike Krzyzewski said, I need you to become a playmaker, and he committed to it, and he can clearly do it.
They want Brooks to touch it virtually every time, and a foul there in the lane. Michigan State, Kentucky, Kansas, and Duke Tuesday on ESPN. What a night.
How about those matchups?
Backdoor there, and it's Belford to connect. He's usually their first sub off the bench. 6'9", about 210.
Playing with that mask on his face. Close scrimmage against Texas, and he breaks his nose.
4-point game, so Davidson, as we expected, has closed it up. Nice back shot there by Rodney Hood. He's kind of taken over offensively.
What do you notice about that guy? He plays at his pace. He doesn't let anybody speed him up.
He has 9. Sullivan running the point now, the sophomore out of Ohio. The three-pointer, too strong. Brooks battling for the rebound, but torn away. Here's Suleiman in transition. He gives it up into the corner. Jump shot won't fall there from Matt Jones, but he's a freshman they really like, and that's one of the reasons why, as he gets back and plucks it away defensively. Here's Cook to fire. And in 114 consecutive polls, that's in the top 10. In 114 straight polls, Sullivan on the wing. Rebounded away by Hood. Rebound comes free to Sullivan. Duke ranked number 4. And have been ranked in the top 10. So now Mike Krzyzewski is asking Cook to slow it down a little bit here, 21-15. And a whistle away from the basketball here with 11:50 to go.
That defense, or excuse me, on the rise up, on the movement upward, that offensive player, the defender's got to be in place. Dave, they had to slow it frame by frame before I caught the upward movement.
So you really wonder what hope do the officials have.
Oh, brutal.
If that's the case, but you're going to hear a lot about block charge plays and a change in the rule. Kalinowski just off the front of the iron, and Parker comes out of there with it. Up ahead for the freshman. Jones trying to operate. He draws the foul.
Tough call to me becomes tougher.
Jones looking smooth at the line there. The 6'4" freshman from DeSoto, Texas. 24-15, biggest lead of the ball game now for the Blue Devils. Here's Jack Gibbs. He's a freshman that Davidson is very, very fond of. He's going to see serious minutes this season. Kalinowski down the lane, lays it up and in.
Better possession, a lot of ball movement, less dribbling, a lot of movement. And what happens is the defense starts to shift. Somebody's in closeout, and you go right by him on the dribble drive. Well done.
Parker bodied up and again shoved before the shot as he's fouled by Droney, number 1 on Tom Droney. Jabari Parker's dad, Sonny, was a first-round NBA draft pick in 1976 of the Golden State Warriors. He played 6 years in the NBA. He has 2 uncles who played in the NFL. A pull-up hop, nice sweet touch there as Duke strikes. Off the back iron, too strong. Droney off target. Suleiman battling for that. Here's Thornton. Parker with a quick step. Nice swing up top for Suleiman, and he got it. 3-pointer.
Well, Duke in transition.
9-17. Sullivan pushed out deep on the wing. Brooks having a little trouble with it in midcourt. Davidson's hit just 1 of their last 6 from the field. Sullivan trying to help that number out, but that's shy again. Parker off the fake beyond the 3. Yes! Sweet touch by the freshman. Freshman in name only.
Get the defense backed off with that little up fake and step back. Really nicely done.
Blue Devils have beaten Davidson 24 consecutive times, including 15 straight here at Cameron Indoor. And now they have opened up a 32-17 first half lead. Droney. Brooks with a touch. Up against Parker. Into the lane. Pretty shot.
When they have gotten the ball to him in the post, he's been able to do very good things with it. He's got 8 points now. And again, he's undersized, so he's got to face up and use his athletic ability to try to get some shots off. And I would attack Parker on the defensive end. I think that's the area that young man has the most growth potential.
Parker up high, back to the point guard, Cook. Cook on a penetration, airborne, draws the contact. He'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 8:46 to go in the half. Well, ESPNU has a good foul shooter, 84% in his career, and he has 6 points in the half. 33-19. Brooks backing down on Hairston and may have forced that shot a bit. Cook wants to run. They really want to push the tempo every chance they get. Duke has won 101 consecutive non-conference home games. On the baseline, very tough shot. Oh, what a fine touch by Hood.
So on successive possessions, you see Mike Krzyzewski's offense allows his guys to make plays. They basically clear a lane for Cook, and then they clear it for Hood and let him go one-on-one.
He has 11 in the first half. And plenty of time left. Brooks, the senior, with a kick out here for Gibbs, and it's way too strong. Rebound tip to Cook. Quickly down the lane looking for a cutter. Great give, Thornton. He lays it in, and he'll go to the line for a 3-point. Thornton completing the 3-point play.
They have been working hard in studio all day.
They really have. Well, here's the biggest lead, 38-19 for the Blue Devils. They have the offense in sync right away. They've made the last 5. Davidson has missed 8 of their last 10. On the drive, Barham, and knocks it down.
Well, he's their best athlete, Barham, and capable of those kinds of plays exactly. And against a team like Duke that is going to be athletic and pressure and try to be like the vintage Duke teams that scare you a little bit with their defense, once they get there, you've got to be able to use the deck wisely. Good drive.
Jump shot, long one from Sullivan, who's feeling it early. He may have taken a knock there. He's limping up the court, but he has 8. 8 points coming off the bench. Droney working his way in. No with the left hand. And now Rodney Hood, who has been so impressive around the back here. Suleiman in the paint. Tough shots. That won't go, but a little shove there as he's fouled in the lane. With
very valued skill. And the best talker on Duke is Tyler Thornton.
Also a co-captain from Mike Krzyzewski, who has opened up a 20-point lead. Up top here for Brooks. He's got a lot of touches here in the first half, and another one here. Boy, that's a tough drive to defend.
That's a good-looking move, and that is something that's grown over the course of his career. Bob McKillop challenging him to add layers to his game.
He has 10 points. Cook to direct traffic now to Junior. Averaged 12 points a game last season. He can fill it up as well. Not this time, and the rebound comes to Damon Brooks, who averaged 14 points, 6 rebounds a game for Davidson a season ago. And the shot will be up and count that one. Boy, tough. And a three-point play. They really needed that one. The Wildcats did. Davidson will again tackle one of the tougher schedules in the country this season. Duke, North Carolina, Virginia, Wichita State, possibly Temple. They're really going to have a very difficult run, but Bob McKillop likes it that way.
And they dropped into a 2-3 zone here. Just try to disrupt the rhythm of Duke just a bit. Try to make them execute against it.
Shot clock down to 9 now for the Blue Devils. Thornton, the swing here. Hood into the lane. Lays it in. 13 points for the transfer, Rodney Hood.
Outstanding movement without the basketball. Put him in position to make the catch where he did.
Barham off the window. It's not there. Big tussle for the rebound. Hood comes away. He's been cleaning up on the glass. He has 5 rebounds.
He's a stat stuffer. He's going to board it, score it, and pass it.
Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Parker traveling with it. Didn't quite have control of it when he started.
But I think this team can go faster than they've shown here. And that's some of that is mindset.
Tom Droney, the senior out of Pittsburgh. Up top, Belford. He can shoot it and knocks it down. It's a good mid-range jumper, and he has 4 points in the first half. 43-28 Duke. Duke has sold out every game here at Cameron Indoors since November 16, 1990. And with plays like that, they're going to keep on selling out.
How about that? Parker now with his 11th point, and that one off a back to the basket move. The first time we've seen him in a
on the Wildcat roster. Suleiman off the fake. Under 4 left in the opening half on opening night. Parker on the baseline. Finds Cook. Nice swing here. Thornton got the three-pointer. They've done that several times here in the first half to find the open man beautifully.
Amazing when the ball reverses sides. How many times you get an easy opportunity.
Droney. And foul on the play by Suleiman. Davidson's big guards at 6'6".
You can tell Davidson's going to have another very good year.
17-1 in the Southern Conference last year. Duke would go 14-4 in the ACC, second place behind Miami, and advance to the Elite Eight, losing to the eventual national champion Louisville. Shot clock at 15 now for Duke. Parker to catch and shoot, and drills it, a three-pointer. He has been cooking. 14 in the first half for the freshman.
And working hard defensively. He did a nice job to fight Damon Brooks, try to use his speed to get around in a post. He's working hard defensively.
Jabari Parker 5 for 5 from the field, 3 for 3 beyond the three-point line, and 14 points. A rather nice first half in his debut. Here's the shot by Acey off target. Joe Acey, just a freshman. On the run, here's Harrison, a bump, and down he goes. A foul on the play. So Duke on their way to over 100 in their season debut. And now up by 21. getting a lot of contributions. 8 different Duke players have scored in this half. Krzyzewski has to love that. It's part of their depth. Should be a real big thing for them. Suleiman with the theft, and he's denied the foul with 2:20 to go.
All pressure point guard defender. I mean, I tell you, the upside, as well as they played, the upside for Duke is incredible.
Gibbs banks it in heavy traffic. Difficult shot for the youngsters. First bucket. 55-34. High on the wing. Parker looking to set a screen. Here's Hood. Rodney Hood showing a lot of elements to his game. Suleiman with a line driver. And it's tipped away. It'll be Davidson basketball here.
It's like a prize fight. You're in the ring for the first 4 minutes. You're pretty much locked up, and then all of a sudden the haymakers start throwing.
Gibbs fires too strong. And there's a whistle in the lane with 1:35. And of course, on the spin move here on the baseline, that won't fall, but Brooks is up and in for 2 off the miss by Kalinowski. 13 for Brooks.
He's an exceptional leaper, and he's got a very good second jump, Damon Brooks.
1:15 left in the half. Suleiman forced it up there, batted away. Davidson wants to run. Tipped away, looked like it was off the sneaker. Hood down the lane and draws the foul.
Throw attempts this year easily to me, Robbie Hood.
Left-hander missed the pair of those, but Suleiman there for the rebound. McKillop was not happy with that effort in a rebounding fray. Under a minute now before halftime at Cameron Indoor. Andre Dawkins has returned to the Blue Devils. He wears number 34. Sat out last season, continuing to deal with his sister's death back in 2009. The tragic loss of his sister Lacey. Cook down the lane to lay it in. Nobody picked him up. Give him 8 points. 57-37. Sullivan wants to drive it. Had to adjust, and he did. And a whistle here. Cook went down. Blue Devils with the ball 24 seconds before halftime. And their high-octane offense has shown some outstanding moments here in the first 20 minutes. Ten seconds before halftime. Duke holding for a final shot, and another whistle away from the basketball. See 6 seconds for Davidson to get one up in the air. Gibbs with a pull-up 3. Off target, and there's the horn to end the first half. Duke with a sizable lead heading into the second half and the basketball here at Cameron Indoor. So a fine start for the Blue Devils. And if you're the Wildcats or Bob McKillop, what are you telling your team at halftime?
Well, you're playing 4-minute segments, and this is about pride of program.
Put down the lane and a quick strike.
Wow, a little shimmy shake. How good is that? The lefty slithers through multiple red jerseys.
He has 15 points. Both he and Parker so impressive in the first half. A reaching foul there on Jabbar for their opponents.
I mean, they can get better defensively. They can become scary in the passing lanes. The pressure they can apply.
Kalinowski knocked away. Here's Brooks on the baseline. Difficult move underneath the iron, but draws the foul. The 19-8.
Ryan Kelly and Mason Plumlee, hard workers, great understanding of the system, really good basketball players. And how about his discussion of the Olympic team, saying how terribly nervous he was before the gold medal match.
He said never more nervous than actually each of those games leading up to the gold medal, including the gold medal, because they're all knockout games.
Correct. Medal
one loss
round.
to go home. That's
one
right.
And done.
Quite difficult angle there for Jefferson. Can anybody do that?
No.
As good as Connecticut is, and they take on Stanford. It's Stores on Monday.
Unless an injury pinches Gino Auriemma's team, because they're not especially deep, unless a major player goes down with an injury, I have a hard time seeing somebody beat them.
Sharpovich gives it up here to Sullivan. Working on Cook on the drive. Sealed nicely there by Thornton, who came over to defend. It's Brooks again. He gets double teamed, trying to get away from that. Sharpovich trying to find that lane. Down he goes. It won't drop, but the follow is up and good by Droney.
Yeah, good job. Droney and was in the right corner, and I thought if they reversed the ball, he was going to get a very good look from three. And Droney is an exceptional shooter.
Senior out of Pittsburgh. He's had a good game so far with 11. Good back out for Cook. And now Thornton directing some traffic here. Just a couple of minutes into the second half. Tyler Thornton, the co-captain. Jefferson got in close, drew contact there. He really went to that.
I was in awe of my brother. I mean, how
sweet?
great is that? What a tremendous family.
Parker trying to spin one up, falling relentless under there in the rebounding activity. But does not come away with a basket. Kalinowski high off the window. He likes that shot, but this one won't drop. Battles for the rebound. Now holding foul. They've gotten Parker. Sharapovich has good range out beyond that three-point line, but he'll drive it instead. Here's Sullivan. He lets fly. Not there from three-point land, but a rebound comes free. No good by Kalinowski. He battles again. Short once more. Hood's tied up. Stolen away by Brooks. He just ripped it right out of his hands.
Love the toughness. Absolutely love that there's no quit in this Davidson basketball team. Pursuing offensive rebounds hard, and that's directly attributable to their head coach.
Brooks was 17. So he's shown up. He averaged 14 points a game last year and gave Duke a lot of trouble in the one meeting. Took the junior point guard to set up a play here. Nice spin and a follow away. Sweet shot.
Think about the performance that young man had winning that stacked Atlantis tournament a year ago. You know, they beat Louisville early in the year because he was absolutely dynamite, splitting the pressure.
They run an offense that you know is going to be able to pile up points all winter long here at Cameron Indoor. The step back by Sullivan trying to answer, and he does. Ryan Sullivan, a sophomore out of Upper Arlington, Ohio, sat out last year after transferring from Miami of Ohio.
They've got to get some stops, however. You know, this is not completely out of reach, but you've got to compete and try to get some stops here.
Cook, strong drive, fires it up, he made it! And a foul on the play. And a three-point play, well earned.
This team has got to commit to a great defensive mindset, the vintage Duke defensive mindset, because if they do, Mike Krzyzewski could be looking at his 5th national championship. And there are great teams out there that will develop over the course of the year. Kentucky can't wait to see him. Kansas, Bill Self, all that guy does is win.
Sharapovich looking to take that baseline, denied. Off to Brooks, the leaner. Can't get it, but he'll go to the line to shoot two.
I didn't see him come out and get tortured, so.
You knew that was coming. 67-48. Suleiman. Tough drive to his right, and a whistle as well.
And it's important for him and Jabari Parker to work together. But before it's all said and done, will Suleiman get that spot?
Looking more and more like it. 70-48. Duke opening up another healthy lead. And again, whistle here. We'll go over the new rule. The opponent can't do that. Using an arm bar to impede the progress of the dribbler. That is no longer allowed. Kalinowski off target, rebounded away by Suleiman.
I think as important, Dave, no chucking a cutter. So great shooters can't be pushed off their routes trying to get free.
Could mishandle the pass on a low block. He would have had an easy two, it looked like. Droney penetrating and a blocking foul with 14:47.
Changes. And Jake Billis has made the point of when he's gone back and watched tapes from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So think about John Wooden's teams where there was this free-flowing, the ball moved.
And I've heard you say the same thing. You're all for that.
Yes, correct.
But we're all going to have to get used to it.
No question.
Early on. And that's the part that might be frustrating for us as well as fans.
Correct. I think fans sitting at home are going to say it's not necessarily pretty all the time. You know, there were exhibition games where there were 60 and 70 free throws being taken. Thornton
open, but it won't fall for him. 70-50. The Blue Devils in complete command. Droney lost it, taken away by Duke. They want to run. Hood. Looking for the bank shot. Yes.
Well, I'd say what extraordinary pressure they're going to put on your ability to get transition and guard. You've got to stop Rodney Hood before he crosses that half-court line, because in transition, look out.
He has 17. Brooks nearly threw it away. Under 14 to go here in the second half. Brooks, strong move, spinning, and it won't fall, but he's back to Duke once again making a run of 30 wins. They did it again last season, 30-6. They went 14-4 in the ACC. Nice touch there by Suleiman again. He did not start, but he's piling up points. Give him 15.
I love how he's approached the game. I mean, he's just done everything within his abilities. Very good athlete, so try to make plays defensively. The ball will find you offensively. You can't worry about scoring.
Not there for Belfer, but a foul. His career high is 26.
I love it. I just have loved watching him play because he plays hard with great activity. There's often a smile on his face. And now Davidson again showing that zone.
Duke up by 20. Hood set the screen. Suleiman gives it up to Cook. Suleiman running that baseline. A long jumper on the way and too strong off the iron by Matt Jones. Jones, a McDonald's All-American from Texas. His sister Jordan is a guard at Texas A&M, also a McDonald's All-American. Sullivan there to knock one down, a three-pointer.
Only 5'11". He was a ways back from that three-point line.
74-57. Jabari Parker about to check back in. Here's Cook with a long one. He answers with a triple.
Boy, he has really shot it with confidence. And I think that's one of the great things about Mike Krzyzewski. He's going to give you the freedom to shoot any open shot. You know, he would get upset with you if you're passing up open shots or not doing your job defensively.
Plumlee blocked it, but the shot won't go for Brooks. Plumlee there with a tough rebound. Crowd loves that as he comes off the bench. This is a Duke team, and opponents better get used to it. They can go deep. They can go way down that bench. Suleiman up against Sullivan. Rounded out. Brooks mishandled the rebound. It's free on the deck. Nice move there around the midcourt area. Taken away by Gibbs. Jack Gibbs, the freshman, left open and drains it. He knocks back a three and a timeout Davidson.
Weeks ago, they have the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff here at Duke, Martin Dempsey. And I loved his line when he was here. He said the United States military, nice pass.
Parker can't convert though. Rebounded away by Brooks.
The United States military competes every single day. I love that line.
I think Mike's right about this. He said the United States military is more respected now than maybe it's ever been.
Yes.
He sees it himself as this one turned over by.
I
think you're right. 77-60. Duke in command. Parker with a later strikes. He's been quiet for a little while.
Checked out with the foul trouble, but didn't take too much time to reassert himself. And how about Andrew Wiggins, number one, Jabari Parker, number two? As good as Parker's been, Wiggins, I want to see Julius Randle, Joel Embiid.
Sullivan short with a three.
What a freshman class in college basketball.
Very, very exciting. Hood, by the way, has 9 rebounds and 17 points in this game. You talked about him being a stat stuffer. Suleiman trying to get free and a timeout.
That's how we're going to defend that. Not the case. There's a steeper learning curve with this group.
Duke at the basketball, leading by 19. Talk about Parker being brand new as a freshman. Hood as a sophomore. He was with the Duke team last year. In fact, a slam down by Parker. Jabari Parker gets him screaming here at Cameron Indoor. High up over the rim. Wow. Brooks on a low block into the paint for 2.
I was hoping for a foul. I want to see the replay.
Yes. He has 24, Damon Brooks.
My goodness gracious. Jabari Parker, I don't have any doubt in my mind that SportsCenter Top 10 is going to include this young man. before it's all said and done tonight.
Suleiman's wide open. He rattled on the three. Look out here, 84-62. Suleiman's had a big night too. He has 18 off the bench. I thought Mike Krzyzewski really coached him brilliantly last year through that long shooting slump. Got out of it. Had some big impact games. He brought him off the bench tonight. Sullivan fires and misses.
You know, you wonder, does this change Mike's thinking about the 2 spot? Does he like the sort of punch he gets off the bench from Suleiman?
It pinballs back to Hood. Off that fake, he's tied up and fouled. 7 out of 9. And a make here for Hood would give him 19. And he's 8 out of 9 from the field. Again, he practiced with Duke sitting out after the transfer from Mississippi State. Practiced last year. His teammates know him very well, but his fans are not as familiar with him until tonight.
You know what Rashid Suleiman, who has played brilliantly tonight, said about those 2 guys? He said Jabari Parker and
Duke a very serious threat to hang 100 on Davidson. Quinn Cook will walk it up now, the point guard, with 8:10 left. Parker has been terrific. Jabari Parker with 20. Rodney Hood is 19. Cook with that spin off the window. No, he'll be at the line to shoot 2. And
jump shot, so then he just spins off his defender, little duck in. They don't hit him there, but he kept moving.
The Blue Devils with their biggest lead tonight, with 7:45 left here against Davidson. Gibbs, nice move, sweeping underneath and stuffed in for 2 by Bilford. .68-65.
You look at a guy like Belford, right? So he's all the way from Battleground, Washington. How does a run? Nice jumper. Wow.
Parker again.
How does a run like the Elite 8 with Stephen Curry have an impact? You can get a guy who pays attention to that tournament from Washington, because that's how he became familiar with Davidson.
What a year that was for Davidson. They've had a lot of signature wins under Bob McKillop. 2008 alone, they defeated Gonzaga, Georgetown, Wisconsin, and West Virginia. But it's not going to happen tonight. Up and in by Andrew McAuliffe, the freshman out of Northbrook, Illinois. He has 4 points. The Duke with 90 already up on the scoreboard with 6:40 to play. And no signs of slowing down. One thing that Duke has shown us tonight, they don't have to just score in transition. They can score in the half-court game as well.
Yeah.
Quite liberally.
They've had good spacing. They've shot it incredibly well from 3.
Another triple. This one by Cook to make it 93-67. He has 6.
I think it's understandable why all of the ACC coaches picked Duke preseason first.
We just clean that up. Cook has 21. Another 3-pointer knocked in. 93-69. Parker.
Oh,
nice
good
dish.
pass.
Jones had it blocked, up and in for 2 on the second effort.
Really good pass.
He has 4. 5.5 left. Duke bearing down on 100 points against a very good opponent.
Yes, well coached.
It was knocked out in the second round of the NCAA tournament and barely by Marquette last year. So it's going to be a very impressive win any way you cut it for Duke. It'll also be the 16th consecutive win over Davidson here at Cameron Indoor for the Blue Devils. Cook gives it up. Hood lofts it up. Got it. Boy, they're raining the threes.
Quinn Cook has done a terrific job in a half court, running offense, finding the open guy, using his ability as a dribble driver. I mean, he's been solid passing the basketball.